If it's not involving you, don't get involved.
What if I get a stalker and he wants to stab me?
In my head, I'm like, if you're not inviting this girl to your birthday party, like, I don't think you really owe her that much other than a phone call.
So quick to let people like weigh in, like society to weigh in of like, but you had it made with him, or he was so nice. And it's like, it's my life.
Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod. Sorry.
Why are you laughing?
I felt like a news reporter at first. I was like, welcome back. I don't know. That was weird. I don't know.
What show? Oh, I'm watching a show and there's like this crazy weather girl. I'm dying to hear about the Hamptons. It looks so fun.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So last week, technically, was Pete and I's 1-year anniversary. And we decided to go to Montauk because he had not gone in a very long time. And I love Montauk. You and I have gone every summer since we lived in New York. And it's just such a fun place. And I feel like you can do like just relaxing things and you can see the ocean and go shopping. So we went there and we were truly like a grandma and grandpa. And it was the best weekend ever. Like we woke up early. There was one day I woke up at 5:45, not by choice. I just like woke up, sat outside and read, and then like we would go to early dinners, and then I was in bed by 8:45 one night. Like it was so great.
I saw you like reading on the beach, and I was like, oh my God, it just looks so magnificent and calm.
It was so great. I'm gonna get into that book at the end because that's my rec. So remind me, I'm obsessed. But it's just like, I know it's only a couple hours from the city, but man, you feel like you're in a whole different world there and everything is just slower paced and the weather was absolutely stunning. And also we were so grateful to go there that weekend because as you can see, my thorn was my broken water heater, which meant we did not have water all weekend. Actually, we just got our water back yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so we're doing roses and thorns. I kind of jumped ahead there. Her rose is the Hamptons, her thorn. Now she's into her thorn, which is this water heater. Yeah, like great timing though that you were able to go have the water out there.
Well, because like I didn't realize, so most apartments, if not all apartments, have one water heater for the whole entire building. But in condos, you have your own water heater per unit, and Pete's technically renting from someone who owns this condo. So her water heater broke over the weekend or on Friday when we got to the Hamptons, and the maintenance guy was calling, like freaking out, being like, there's water going into the apartments below you. It's like flooding the apartments. We don't know what's wrong, like freaking out. And Pete was like, I'm not home. Like, you can go into the apartment, like do your thing. We realized the water heater was broken. So they had to turn our water off for the whole weekend and Monday and Tuesday. So that means you can't like brush, go to the bathroom, shower, nothing. And it was a time, let me tell you.
It's always funny because you're always like, I can survive. I'm fine without the water. And then you you just turn on the fire and you're just like, ah!
No, literally. Like we were pouring, we would get like a bucket of water and pour it into the toilet to go to the bathroom, but like we wouldn't flush to pee.
Oh.
And
yes.
Let me tell you, I've never been so grateful for a warm shower in my entire life.
I mean, I can only imagine. You guys have been going through it with that apartment/condo.
Well, I've realized it's Mercury retrograde was that week. I did not realize that. So
it was hitting you guys in full force. It was targeting you specifically, hit you a little harder. But that means next round you'll get a little lighter touch.
Yes, I hope so. But thank God we had like such a great weekend in the Hamptons. And thank God we were also gone. Also, we wouldn't have had thank God we were gone for like 3 of the days with no water. Else, I don't know what I would have done.
You probably would have had to have planned a trip and it would have been like last minute and it would have been annoying because like you were paying for it. But this timing wise worked out really well.
Yeah.
Did you train?
Oh, did I take I was like, did I train?
Did you take the train?
No, we rented a car because
Oh, I saw this. I saw you rent the car. Yes.
Yeah, because we wanted to
How was that?
It was so great because we just wanted to be able to drive and like explore. And also, I think the reason why I had so much fun is because we had a car. We could listen to music. We could drive to get coffee, to get breakfast. It was just having a car is such a beautiful thing.
I totally agree. I forgot about the car. Yeah. Yeah. It's a different way. Like I love the train to the Hamptons. It's fun. But once you're out there, you are like a bit stranded and like the Ubers are far away. So having a car is the way to do it. So that's fun. And it's a beautiful drive.
Oh my God, yeah.
Once you're out there, it's so pretty.
I have PTSD still from last year from you almost missing the train by like a millimeter of a second. Do you remember that?
Oh my God. I mean, I always almost miss a train by a millimeter of a second. I cannot get to that train station early. Even if I get to the train station early, I just can't get to that train. But but my favorite way we went to the Hamptons was when we bladed.
That was an incredible experience. That was sick. And it's so fast.
Oh, it's so fast and it's cool. Like they banned helicopters landing in the Hamptons because of the noise, which I get. So our blade was actually the seaplane and that was awesome. It was awesome.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That actually makes sense. Because I feel like it's its own little cozy town that's very quiet.
Yeah, I think there was like a noise ordinance. Do you want to tell us about you've got a 2-tier monster happening?
I couldn't decide.
Yeah. How about that? I love it. The pink and the white's cute.
No, so I was trying to make the Instagram story for Mean Girl Pod about the monsters, and I always do this. I do it without hitting record, and I love opening it on camera because the noise is so delicious. And I realized I opened the white one, and I didn't get it on recording, so I was like, F it. I'm gonna also open a pink one. Now I'm having 2.
Now you're double fisting. Which is your favorite of the 2? I guess you love the white one so much. What's the pink flavor again? I forget.
This one is Ultra Strawberry Dreams, which is so good as well, but you can't go wrong.
Ooh. Yeah. Cheers to both of those. There you go.
What about you? What are your roses and thorns?
My rose of the week is that I finally not finally because it happens fast, but I got my induction date. So 3 weeks, that's all I have to wait for this little baby girl to come. And it's like a load off. I wanted to get induced. I know it's not for everybody, but it is for me. So it gives me an end date.
Wait, so you pick to be induced? Like why? I guess I don't really know the difference. Like why do you choose to get induced versus not choosing?
Well, she could come naturally, right? Like my water could just break. So I'm getting induced in the 39th week and full term is any time past 39. But I could wait, 40 and a half weeks. Like I could wait a week after and my water could break and like she could come quote unquote naturally. But that's not for me. I'm not that girl. I love, if you're listening and you are that girl, more power to you. You have more patience than I do. I needed a date. So I kept calling my doctor and she kept telling me to talk to her about it in person. And so I talked to her about it in person and she was like, oh my God, fine. So I got my induction date and I'm so excited.
Does that mean that you will automatically get a C-section?
No, it doesn't. It actually, I don't know. I've talked to so many people and read so many things about this. It's very conflicted. Like some people will tell you you'll have a longer, oh my God, what's the word? I'm in labor. You'll have a longer labor if you get induced. Some people tell you that that's not the case at all, that it's just up to chance. Some people tell you that if you get induced, you're more likely to have a C-section, but then you read some things and they say that study's actually like, now it's less likely. So there's so much out there. Here's the thing. I'm actually fine with a C-section or a vaginal birth. Like I'm good either way. I just mentally need that end date. And she's safe in the 39-week range. Like we're good to go. So I feel really good about it.
I love that you can pick. I mean, that's right up my alley. I didn't realize we could do that.
Well, I don't know that you can necessarily. I think like some people struggle to get a date.
Okay.
I think I don't know. Maybe I caught her at the right time. I was calling a lot. I was making jokes to her and she's just like, fine. So I don't know that it's that easy because here's the thing. Like I don't have the gestational diabetes. I'm not an at-risk pregnancy. knock on wood, like, thank God. But if you are, you're more likely to get those dates because they go first. They take priority.
Okay. Can we talk about the insurance thing that we briefly touched on? Remember how we were talking and I was like, well, can't like the baby be covered under Harrison's insurance? I think that was like the question I asked. I couldn't remember. I was like, if you don't have insurance, can the baby go under Harrison's? Or no. Or was it that he doesn't have, like, by law, he can't make any decisions? I can't remember what it was.
He by law can't make any decisions. Yeah, like it's, because it's your body and it's your choice.
Yes.
So I have to make there was these, what did somebody tell me? But even if the doctor like says something to me and like I'm having like the worst contraction on the planet and he answers for me, I have to answer. Like he has no jurisdiction over me and the baby and the body, right? Because it's like technically mine. So it's like legally while we're in there, I don't know how this would, I don't know an example to use because I don't know my options, but if he was like, okay, let's just do the C-section, that's not working, they'd be like, no, you don't get to pick, she picks.
What happens if, God forbid, like I don't even want to say this aloud, but like what if you weren't conscious? Then who would make the decision?
Quick pause to talk about Cozy Earth, because Cozy Earth is all about helping you turn your home into a personal sanctuary, a place where you can escape the hustle and bustle of daily life, a place where you can crawl into your bed and absolutely love your temperature regulating sheets with the enhanced fabric, superior softness, made with responsible production and durability and commitment to quality. As always, you guys, these sheets that Jordyn and I have, they are absolutely incredible. The temperature regulating aspect of them is next level. J-Dub, how much do you love your sheets?
I love them so much. I've said this a million times, but I'll say it again. In New York City, you just don't have good AC. And my sheets keep me nice and cold, even when Pete's next to me and he's just like a furnace. So I just sleep so good and I never want to leave my bed.
It's absolutely the best. And you guys, I just got in the pajamas set because I'm going to take it to the hospital. And it's like the best, most breathable. They're also temperature regulating. They are the comfiest thing on the planet. They're bamboo pajamas and they stretch and they're just magnificent. So wrap yourself in luxury this fall with Cozy Earth. You guys are not going to want to miss out on this. Go to cozyearth.com/mean and use promo code MEAN for an exclusive discount up to 40% off. That's an incredible discount. And if you get the post-purchase survey, you guys make sure to tell them that we sent you. So that's cozyearth.com/mean and use promo code MEAN for an exclusive discount up to 40% off. Enjoy. Maybe when I get there, I like rule him next of kin or something. I don't know. That's a good question. Like God forbid, like the worst case scenario. I don't know how that works.
Wow.
People are going to definitely be telling us in our messages.
Oh yeah. I feel like there was something with insurance though, where I think I might have asked you, I was like, can't the baby just be covered under his? But I guess, like, if you guys are both covered with insurance, why can't just go to his?
So we have separate insurance. And like, when she's alive, she could be under his. Like you know how you and I just re-signed up for insurance because we're rezoning?
Yeah.
So there was an option for me there to like add a child. And he also has the option to add the child. It's just when we get there, because she's not here yet, I have to be the insured one.
Right. Okay.
So it's like my policy like overtakes her until she's born and we leave the hospital and then we give her insurance, except our policy does cover a newborn for the first 6 weeks of their life. But then she'll have to go under somebody.
Okay.
So that's where we can pick. But before that, it has to be me.
That's so crazy. I just can't believe that like in a couple weeks you're going to have a baby.
Me either. Oh my gosh. I just don't know what that part looks like. Like, I'm like, is it an 8-hour labor or is it one of my friends I talked to that was 40 hours? Is it 40 hours?
You'll for sure take the drugs, right?
Yeah, yes, 100%.
Okay.
The first time they come around and offer that epidural, I'm not afraid to say, yes, please.
And give me all that epidural you can give me.
apparently it just like numbs you. Like people say the second, like, okay, I had the Braxton Hicks. I think I texted you this.
Yes.
Cause I hadn't had them yet. Those that I can't have that for an hour. I can't.
Was it bad?
Nope, not me. Oh my God. I was dying. It took my breath away. I was like, whatever that was, can't. And I had like 3 or 4. And I counted. They were like 30 seconds to a minute. And I was like, oh, no. Oh, no.
Wait, so how did you know that you weren't having real contractions? Like, obviously, you know now, but like in the moment, did you think you were in labor?
Well, I thought I could have been, but then I Googled it. And basically, like, there's the very big difference is Braxton Hicks is like the worst period cramp you've ever had. But labor will hit your back. And this was like very much so not in my back. So that's how I knew. They're like the labor cramps will be both. But it took me down. Like it took me to the floor. I was like, oh, we're down.
Oh my God. I mean, I have the pain tolerance of a small child. So I'm going to die when my time comes.
Yeah, I'm nervous because they say like you know, if because you're dilated like certain amounts, right? And so a 1, I wasn't even at a 1, right? And I was like, woof, that hurts. But sometimes the epidural, the anesthesiologist doesn't come around till you're a 3 or a 4. And then if they miss you and you hit 7 or 8, they just tell you to keep going. They just tell you don't get the epidural.
Oh yeah, because if you wait, like if it misses you, you can't get it at us after a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah, because like you can't sit still, I guess, so that they're not as confident like putting it in. So the moment I get to the hospital, I'm going to be like, call the anesthesiologist. I want to go early.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm nervous. I'm like so excited, but I am nervous for that day.
Oh gosh. At least you'll have like hair, like at least since it's planned, like you can make sure Harrison is here. Like you guys will have it, like all your stuff packed, like you'll be prepared. So it will be good.
Yeah, and some people, and then I've heard stories of once you actually schedule the induction, like sometimes your water breaks, like, I don't know, next week, because your body just knows.
Wow.
So it's like so I'm starting to pack my bag now.
Well, it's just wild too, because like I mean, I don't even want to say it, Alex. I don't want to stress you out, but these are just all the things that like run through my head is just, I'm not even going to say them because I don't want to stress you out. I'm just like, wow.
I'm sure they've gone through my head.
Well, it's just going to be so like fascinating to see like how your life changed afterwards. Because it's like, you're going to be like a full-time working mom and you'll be a mom. It's just, it's crazy.
I have no idea what to expect like the 2 weeks after. Most people I've talked to don't walk for the first like 2 weeks after. Like they don't. And if you do walk it just makes it longer.
Yeah.
But I don't, everyone's different. That's the thing. Like the range of postpartum is like, some girls are down for 6 weeks. They got the postpartum depression. Like it totally changes them. Some girls were like, I don't know. I popped her out and I bounced back. And it's just like, you have no idea what you're dealing with. You just said, you don't know.
Is postpartum depression, like genetic? Like if your mom has it, you're more likely to have it, or is there no correlation?
There's no correlation. I actually think our moms maybe, I don't know that it was so much of a thing back then.
I don't think it was because I don't remember anyone really talking about it when we were kids.
I think people definitely had it. I mean, they for sure had it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think it had a name, and I don't think they like shared the experience of it or like normalized it. But I think that it's not genetic, and it's hormones. It's hormones.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Wow.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with like, because like my mom said she never felt better than during pregnancy. You know,
course.
And like, she was like, oh my gosh, like my ailments went away. Like I felt great. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not having that experience. But I feel good in everyday life.
Yeah.
Where like she has arthritis and things. And so I think it like took away. And then postpartum wise, I don't know.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. So couple more episodes and then you will have a baby.
Yeah. Two
more episodes?
I don't know.
Yeah, 2 more episodes. 3 more episodes.
3.
Yeah.
3. Yeah, 3.
Yeah. And next week, I'm going to Texas, you guys, to see Alex and Julie and see the house and some other Just Media gals. And we're going to record in person in your new studio that you're in.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited because I'm going to get the light to work for that. That'll be that'll motivate me for that moment.
Love that.
Yeah, and we'll be in here. I know. I can't wait. I think that you're going to love it.
I'm so excited. I have seen like little snapshots of your house on your Instagram story, but I cannot wait to see your house because you have such good interior design taste and it's very unique. Like you're someone who makes each part of the place you live, I feel like a different experience. Like I don't see you ever having a house that's like neutral everywhere. Like you have color.
Yeah, I love color, but I think like a tasteful little drop of color makes it happy.
Yeah. Like I'm just so like, and I feel like you have a similar, every place you've been to kind of resembles you in a way, like all the places I've seen you live. So I'm excited to see this in the nursery. I can't wait.
Yeah, I try to do it with the art. I try to do the art. I know you're going to be I'm going to get the nursery done. I think everything is here. It just needs to be organized. So by the time you get here, that's my project is to like finish it.
Did you end up actually doing that one picture by yourself?
Yeah, I did it by myself.
It turned out really good.
It took me like 3 weeks, but it was great because I would go in there most nights and I would turn on a movie and I would just do it. And like, I hand glued on these, what took the longest was these little like rhinestones because it needed something else. And I watched probably 4 movies while I did that. And it was great. Like classics. I watched like Devil Wears Prada, like old movies. And I just had so much fun doing it.
I love that. I'm going to be honest with you, a little nervous in the beginning because I was like, what is she getting herself into? But then I saw it and I was like, did she buy this? It looks very good. Like it looks professionally done.
Well, I used stencils, so I kind of cheated, but the first one was really bad. And then I feel like I got it. I got it together. And then once I started it, I got competitive with myself. And I was like, if you can't do this, can you take care of a baby? You have to finish the painting. So I finished it.
Oh my gosh. I have a question for you that's been very controversial in Pete and I's relationship. And I think I know your answer, but I'm curious to see what Harrison's answer will be. And you can ask Julie too. But when you go to the bathroom in a public bathroom, do you sit on the seat bare bum or do you squat or do you put toilet paper down?
I think I saw this video. But I can't remember anything. Did you post this on your TikTok, you and him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's so funny because I remember you just like a tidbit is I remember you asking the question, but I can't remember what you guys said after that. I don't sit on it.
You don't?
No.
I told him, I was like, Alex is a bare bum girl.
Julia's too. Yeah. No, I most of the time I don't sit on it.
Wait, so Julie does or does not sit on it?
Does.
Okay, so Julie and I sit with our bare bums. Do you squat or do you put like toilet paper down?
I don't put the toilet paper down because the toilet paper that never works, right? You know what I mean? Like by the time I'm sitting, it's always like falling halfway in. I don't know. I'm trying to think okay, here's the thing. What do you mean by public bathroom?
Like,
anywhere outside the house, restaurant, any of it?
Yeah.
Okay, most restaurants and things I'm sitting on the seat. But like airports,
porta potty,
gas stations, porta potty for sure. Movie theaters. Recently I went to the movie theater and I did not sit on that toilet. So that is where I won't sit on it. But like most hotels, restaurants, things like that, I will.
Do you know what Harrison does?
I have no idea.
Will you text him and ask him?
Yes, I could guess that he sits on it.
So I just assumed we all sit. Like I know every once in a while, like people put toilet paper down on like whatever porta potties or nasty gas station bathrooms. But when we were in the Hamptons, there's like public toilets. And I like went in there and then I went out and he's like, wow, that was so fast. And he like said something where I don't know how we got to the conversation. And he was like, you sit on the toilet without putting toilet paper down? I was like, yeah. And he was so disgusted. And he was like, you always do that? Like anywhere we go? And I was like, yeah, in porta potties, everything. Like, I just sit my bare bum down. I was like, doesn't everyone? He was like, Jordyn, for me, can you please stop doing that for me? And I was like, what? I was like, no.
I don't think it's like that. It's not, I don't think it doesn't matter, right? Because I don't think it's that bad either way.
I don't think it is. I'm healthy.
Totally. No, totally. And just like, here's the thing, going to the bathroom in general is just like, like the same concept, rinse and repeat everywhere.
I can't squat. I can't physically squat and pee at the same time. My brain won't let me.
That's another thing is like, it's definitely hard.
And the toilet paper thing, like you said, sucks. You do it, and then next thing you know, the toilet paper's in the toilet. And half the time, bathrooms don't even have those, like, things anymore.
I would say the majority of the time they don't. The only place that still has them is the airport, and they don't really work.
Or they have the ones that are, like, the electronic ones that go around in a circle. I'm like, aren't you just, like, using the same thing over and over again?
It's totally the electronic ones that go around and around. I know that there's nothing else in there.
Right? I'm like, it's just
one. That's actually most of the time when I do squat. That thing, those electronic plastic deals, I'm like, that is just germs.
I also just like, who has the time to not just put their bare bum on the seat? I was shocked, and I didn't realize how many people did not sit bare bum on a seat. And it was a very eye-opening conversation, to say the least.
I can't believe it. Yeah, no, it's a thing because my mom always taught me like squat, and I guess that's like where I learned it, but now, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if it's
it is definitely harder.
I think it's because like I'm just in general just like not a germaphobe. Like I think I've just always grown like I'll eat food off the ground and Pete thinks it's disgusting. Like I just barely
off
wash
the ground, like at home or
at home. Yeah. If food hits the ground in New York City, I am not touching it. I draw the line there. Dude. I'm drawing the line there. Yes, like my granola bar fell in the street the other day, and I did throw that away. But like if it falls on my personal floor, like I don't care.
No, and you know how clean it is, right? Like,
yeah.
I'll do the math. I'm like, when's the last time we mopped this thing? All right, we're good. We're good to eat it.
Yeah, so I just thought it was interesting. But yeah, I'm like, but then also too, I look at Pete and I'm like, who gets sick more? Not me. You do. So.
Yeah, well, you probably have a better immune system because it's stronger because you've been building it longer.
Oh yeah, I think I've been, in a year that we've been dating, I think I've been sick once and he's been sick like 10 times. He's had COVID like twice. I'm like, not me.
Not me. Couldn't be me. Nope. I'm good. Yeah. No, I think germs are good for you to a certain extent.
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Anytime Fitness. This fall at Anytime Fitness, it's all about prioritizing your best self by getting back into your fitness routine and focusing on a more holistic approach, which means how you move, what you put into your body, and how you recover from the stresses of everyday life.
Personally, my favorite thing about Anytime Fitness is that they have an inclusive community vibe. It's so welcoming, and from the coaches to the other members, everyone is there with the same drive to be strong and help each other reach goals.
And if you guys are just like me and you just moved to a new city and you're looking to find a new community, join Anytime Fitness because it is definitely the move. I also love how much of a holistic approach they take to fitness. The support doesn't just start and end with training. They also focus on body intelligence, meaning personal health metrics, nutrition, and recovery, which means injury prevention.
I also love their app. It is so amazing and it helps you keep track. So be sure to check out Anytime Fitness via the link in today's episode description for more information and to claim your free trial pass. Speaking of, I feel like COVID's coming back. I feel like everyone's like, I have COVID. And I'm like, what? Okay.
So, yeah, I just don't know when they're testing for that. Is that like in the run-of-the-mill, like flu tests now? Do we run that like with the rest of them?
Pete had COVID like a few months ago, and his doctor, they have like a doctor in their office, and the doctor was like, because Pete was like, well, what's protocol? He's like, go home today, but, when you feel better, come back to the office. He's like in next week, 2 weeks, like, no, just, if you feel better tomorrow, come back. And Pete's like, what? And he's like, there's no protocol anymore. It's like the flu now. And I'm like, okay. Sounds good.
It's just, we dramatized the 14-day quarantine. And like, don't get me wrong, like COVID sucked having it. The memory loss thing was real.
Yeah. Oh,
And
did that happen to you?
yeah, I had it. I can't remember before a holiday. Remember like 2 years ago? I've only had it once, but I remember that I had brain fog. I had like really bad brain fog. And I know with the flu, like most of the time you're throwing up. And it's like every disease, I guess, like has something, but I guess now COVID's just in there with the flu and strep and it's just normalized.
Yeah. It's just wild.
It's wild that we like the flu is something that's always been around. And it's why it would be wild to talk to people that were like, oh yeah, in 2020, the flu was found and we all quarantined for 14 days. It's like COVID. We were here for the what's it called? I don't know. When COVID started, we were here for that. The inception of COVID. Like that's crazy to live through like a disease starting.
That actually is true because I feel like back in the early 1800s, they all lived through like every disease that was invented. And now like in 2020, we were like, so did we.
COVID. Yeah. Smallpox and us. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Swine flu, that was another one. I don't know anything about swine flu, except I remember during COVID, one of my friends or someone was like, yeah, I mean, I got married during the swine flu time. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. And Ebola.
Yeah, that was another one.
I remember.
So diseases are wild.
I remember Ebola because in college, I thought it was the end of the world because people would get that and die. And I remember calling my mom and then I'd be like, Mom, I'm so scared. I don't want to get it and die. And like I was like a sophomore in college. I like vividly remember crying and panicking because I thought we were all going to get it and we were all going to die.
I like don't even remember that disease being that like I don't even, you must have had like an outbreak or something near you.
I think I just like saw some like bad article and just assumed it was real. You know what I mean?
Right. You know my like version of that. The one time like I thought that I like had a fear. It was in high school. I like woke up in the middle of the night one night and I was just like, oh my God, what if I get a stalker and he wants to stab me? And it was like, that's like probably not going to happen. You know, like the odds of that happening are very slim, but it was just this like giant fear that I built up in my head that I like could not, it was paralyzing. I couldn't overcome it for like a week. Didn't even know. I had no version of a stalker whatsoever. The thought of one, I was just like, oh my God, what would I do? Like what? It'd be over. That'd be it. I couldn't survive.
I'm just dead because you were like, for like a week.
For a week. Like I would barely sleep and I was just like, what's going to happen if it happens to me? And my parents were just like, it's probably not going to happen.
What an interesting irrational fear.
Yeah, right? Yeah, yours was more rational. But that's the only time I remember being just like, I cannot continue life if this happens.
That is so crazy. It's so interesting, like, what we get, like, hooked up on as a kid and just, like overthink, and it just messes with our whole entire life.
100%. And it's so irrational. And the older you get, the more you're like, okay, that was so dumb. But at the time, did I tell you that I saw Twister? Did we like close the loop on that?
Oh, no, you didn't. You end up seeing it?
Yeah, just speaking of like fears when you were little, I thought it was a phenomenal movie.
The on-screen chemistry was excellent. I love Daisy, Edgar Jones, and Glenn Powell. Oh, so good.
Yeah, just a little tidbit there. We don't have to talk about it because I know it's kind of like a thing of the past, but I did see it and I did love it.
Did they represent Oklahoma good though?
Yeah, I want to see the first Twister now.
You should. I think you would like it. It's a good movie.
I want to see them both. I thought that they did. They represented Oklahoma really well. Yes. I mean, there was far more tornadoes in that than what really happened, but I thought the movie was just like great.
Yeah, no, it was really good. Speaking of other things on the internet, we talked about this a little bit earlier today, but the whole Sophia and Hallie thing is just, the tables have turned. It is wild how fast a narrative can change with social media.
Well, so wait, I didn't really know about the online change. What happened?
Oh my God. So now everyone is like, we are Team Sophia. She's an icon. No, literally, like, she went from the most hated person on the internet. And now people are like, she played into it so well. She played the villain so well. She never put up with anyone's crap. And now she's a low-key an icon. That's what the internet is saying.
Oh, okay. So
people don't hate her anymore. They now think she's an icon.
Oh, an icon. I don't really know. I haven't done, I can't say anything because I haven't done my research on it. Like I haven't seen the videos and things, but all that to say, the tide always turns. What would be interesting? Okay, I'll say this. What would be interesting is if you were like her close circle of friends.
Yes.
And like, if one of them like jumped ship while her stock was down, for like a week, like it was down for like a week. And then I guess it's back now, and then like they circle back. That would be fascinating to know who stuck with her and who didn't.
Right. Well, and that just goes to show like for cancel culture, only you can actually cancel yourself. Like if she would have played into it and been like, I'm so sorry, or like gotten off the internet, she would have been gone, done. And now she's like, she's still staying relevant.
Totally. Yeah. No, it's fascinating. So do you ever think about, you mentioned this, but what do you think about like orchestrated
beef?
Yeah.
So I firmly believe in orchestrated beef. I think it is, so a lot of people do it. It's like celebrities pretending to date for publicity type of thing. And I know that people are like, what if Hallie and Sophia orchestrated this to stay relevant? But it's like, how do you pick who is the villain and who's not? Do you flip a coin and it's like, oh, sorry, you got the short end of the stick. You're going to be the hated one? Like,
right. And if you stay around long, like, because there's no way they could have known between the two of them if Sophia rides the wave long enough, the tide will turn. It's like, that's such a gamble for like your life.
Yeah, and also, too, I don't think it's orchestrated based off of how Hallie is approaching it. Like, she's not still playing into it. Like, she's left the building. She's moved on. But Sophia is, like, very much so still riding it. So that's where I'm like, I don't think this is orchestrated. I think this is real.
Do you think that Ben Affleck and Jennifer were actually married?
Okay, that is wild that they just like got divorced. But I also think J-Lo might be one of the worst humans out there. So he probably was like, I can't do this. I can't put up with your shit anymore.
The amount, it started to seem like a stunt. The amount of video footage there was of him just being pissed off opening the door for her.
With Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, like he wouldn't even he wouldn't even smirk for the cameras anymore. He was just like, ugh, like he just looked so mad constantly.
And like all the pictures that the paparazzi got of him, he looked so disheveled. When he did the roast for Tom Brady, he looked like he was coked out of his mind. Like, I was like, are you good, Ben? Like, are you going to be okay?
And neither of them really say anything of it. Did you see right before this, speaking of breakups, Tommy Fury posted just like literally right before this, a photo?
No, of him and Molly?
No, it's just of him. And I thought it was such an odd photo choice. It's him like tying a shoe. It kind of looks like an ad.
It's on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Let me look.
But he just said, these last few weeks have been heartbreaking. The false allegations about me have been horrendous. Thank you to everybody who stood by me through this.
Your comment, is this an Adidas ad? Alex.
Well, what an odd photo. First of all, he's wearing Asics, which that's whoops. But like, what an odd photo.
I mean, it genuinely looks like a product placement.
Yeah, like I don't know. I wanted like a family photo or
what? Also, stood by you through what? None of us know what's going on.
Well, and stood by you, it makes it seem like it was a thing of the past. It's very much so. We don't know anything. It's still very IRL.
And it's making it seem like Molly's the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for standing by me. It makes it seem like Molly did something to him and he's heartbroken.
Right. And these allegations are horrific. If they're horrific, then just get online and let us know.
Yeah.
That it's not true.
That is crazy. Oh my God.
It wasn't really the 1-2 punch I was thinking from him. It was kind of like, what? Like your PR person, your publicist picked like that photo?
No, literally. I genuinely don't know how some PR firms are around. I'm like, how is this person not fired? Because they did a horrible job.
What about you holding your baby? I don't know.
Right? Or you with your family, your brother, like put someone that you love in the picture.
Yeah, and like the most important thing to me through this time is like protecting my family, like we'll be co-parents, blah, blah, blah. Not like you guys stop accusing me and I'm in the gym.
That is so crazy. Something else that's so crazy on social media is, and I'm curious to hear your take on this. I explained it to you a little bit before, but everything that's going on with Caitlin Bristol and Tayshia from The Bachelorette. So if you guys don't know what's going on, Caitlin is dating Tayshia's ex, who was on her season of The Bachelor. I think, what's his name? Matt?
Is it Matt?
Zach Clark. I don't know where I got Matt from. She's dating Zach Clark. And Tayshia and Caitlin co-hosted a season of The Bachelor together after Chris Harrison left. And people assumed they were friends because like how they acted online and like how they host. They were genuinely, they were coworkers in this situation. And
the term is now skewed because, yeah, it's funny.
And Caitlin called Tayshia and was like, hey, I don't know if she asked her permission if it was okay to date Zach or if she was like, I just wanted to let you know, like, I've been talking to Zach. But either way, she like called Tayshia to let her know. And I guess Tayshia called her. I don't think she picked up that time, but she like called her back and like freaked out at her and said like these horrible things. Like, I always knew you were a horrible person. Like XYZ, this or that, just like screamed at her. And Caitlin went on a podcast and explained the situation. And she was like, I'm not mad at Tayshia. Like, I probably would be pissed at a girl dating my ex too if I worked with her. She's like, I wish she didn't like scream at me, but like, I'm not mad at her about the situation. But someone on TikTok had this like really interesting take, and they were talking about like the difference between like a guy's girl and girl's girl, because like Tayshia was like, you're not a girl's girl. And this person's take was like, it's like the definition of a girl's girl, guy's girl isn't about like what you do. It's how you handle a situation, which I liked because they were like, Caitlin is a girl's girl for like picking up the phone and like calling Tayshia. Like what she did was shitty. Like, I mean, we all can admit like that's kind of like a shady thing, but it was like a girl's girl move to pick up the phone and be like, hey, I just want to let you know, like Zach and I like connected. We started like, we're going to start seeing each other. I want you to hear it from me over the phone or in person versus like social media. So I was just curious, like, what your thoughts were on this whole thing, because it's, like, blowing up on the internet.
Well, I think, like, okay, when we had the Blake Lively situation, it was like we were missing so much information about her because we don't have, like, a window into her life most of the time.
Yeah.
We have a pretty good window into Caitlin most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
She most of the time seems to be a girl's girl.
Agreed.
Seems to be for the girls, like seems to be a good friend. Like she's one of those characters on the internet that I feel like matches in real life what happens online.
I agree.
And so for that, you know, it's like you kind of feel like she's in the group chat. I think Caitlin probably assessed how close she was with Tayshia, and like while they have each other's phone numbers and like of course they worked together, they're probably not first or second circle group of friends.
No, they're not.
And she's probably so she was probably like, fuck, this sucks. But like, listen, you know, the older we get, the more like you just this kind of overlap might happen. And then she called her, which I think was the adult thing to do. But like, I think if somebody picks up the phone and calls you and tells you, and I think you just kind of have to be like, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, because I feel like right now the internet is just like pitting girls against each other for taking each other's boyfriends. And like with the Hallie and Sophia thing, how Sophia handled it, that was shitty. But like how Tayshia did, how Caitlin did, I was like, yeah, like it sucks that she's dating Zach, but I feel like she handled it in a pretty good manner. And it's like, if you're not inviting Tayshia to your wedding, like you don't really owe her anything. Like Caitlin made it clear, she's like, we were coworkers, but like we didn't have, like, it's not like we text every day. We don't call. I wouldn't invite her to my birthday party. Sorry, not wedding. I meant birthday party. Like, if you're not inviting someone to, like, actually any event. Like, I think Caitlin handled it well.
Birthday party's a good, I agree. Like, okay, that actually clears a lot up. I didn't know that. So if she said I wouldn't invite her to my birthday party, but I do know her, so I did tell her.
Oh, she didn't say
I think you
that.
handled
I
it
was
great.
just saying that. Like, if in my head, I'm like, if you're not inviting this girl to your birthday party, like, I don't think you really owe her that much other than a phone call.
Totally agree. And I think, listen, Caitlin's side of the street, I think she kept it clean's tough because she is dating the guy. But what are you going to do, you know? Like, not date him because he dated one of your coworkers?
I know. And I know we talk about this. We've talked about this a few times. Like, where do you draw the line of like dating a friend's ex? But like, the more that I hear stories like this, the more I am just like, whatever. Like, it sucks, but if they reach out and handle it appropriately and you guys aren't on a texting basis or a phone call basis, who cares? Like,
well, and he wasn't for you. Like, you guys broke up. So if he wasn't for you, he might be for them. And like, why would you want to stand in the way of that? Because you got like what? Because it's too hard for you to watch. Why do you think it's so messed up?
Someone said something, they're like, if I would, like, there's so many things. I guess I said the wedding and the birthday thing, but someone else was like, if I won't casually FaceTime you, we don't really owe each other too much. And I'm like, that's kind of valid. Like,
I completely agree with that. And the fact that you would pick up the phone and call them says a lot about you. Like, good for you.
right?
And good for Caitlin not hard launching it online for the tea. Like, she tried to handle it behind closed doors. And like, if Tayshia freaked out, it's like, what?
And she still is. Like, they both publicly have not like they both publicly have not like posted that they're together. Like, Caitlin is trying to keep it as below, like under the scenes as possible. But I was like, I feel like she's just trying to be somewhat respectful. Like, my God.
So how did Caitlin talk about it? She was on a podcast?
Yeah, she was on
her podcast.
No, she was on a podcast, and she talked about it very respectfully, actually. She didn't use Tayshia or Zach by name, and she didn't say anything bad about Tayshia. She was just like, she even was like, I get why she's pissed. I would be pissed too. It just sucks how she like spoke to me. That was the only thing she said, was like when Tayshia called her, she's like, I just wish it wasn't like so mean and angry. But she's like, at the end of the day, like, I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah, but I think too, like, once somebody gets pissed at you and is angry at you, but they're not that close of a friend, what are you going to do? Break up with a guy because they got mad at you? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, right. Also, I don't think her and Zach broke up like yesterday. I think it's been like a decent amount of time. And like, Caitlin's obviously been single for a decent amount of time. Her ex has moved on. So it's like, I think everything is free game.
Yeah, I think and I think at this point, fate will run its course. But I think it was really nice of her to call.
Yeah, it's just like, it's wild. I'm just like, I don't know. I just like the person's take on like girl versus guys girl. I was like, oh, I kind of like that. Like, it's not based off what they do. It's like how they handle the situation. Or it's not based off the situation. It's how they handle the situation. I was like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, I do totally agree with that. I don't think we can categorize everybody that dates somebody's ex that they know as a non-girl's girl, like immediately. It's like, no, not necessarily. Absolutely not, actually.
Yeah, I agree. It's just interesting. Also, another thing that was interesting that I want to kind of touch on, because I feel like we get a lot of DMs about this the most, is like people talking about or asking like, how do you know when you're supposed to break up with someone, or how do you know when like when they're just not your person? And we talk about like not settling and stuff. And one of my friends, and she was like, you should talk about this on the podcast, because like it was, so like I have her permission, but she ended things with her boyfriend of almost a year. And she, like, I really liked how she handled it, because she was pretty much saying like, at the end of the day, there was nothing like quote unquote wrong with him, like reasons why you should break up with someone. He just wasn't, she just had like minor doubts, and those started to add up along the way. And her to allow herself to like know that it's okay to break up with someone if you have any sort of doubt was like very powerful for her. To like, she worked through it in therapy and like talked to her friends about it. And I felt like that was just so like such a good thing that she did, because so many people think that like in order to break up with someone, you have to be like cheated on. It has to be dramatic. But she was like, I had minor doubts, and I just knew those doubts were never going to go away. So I ended it so I could find someone that doesn't give me those doubts. And I was like, I love that. Like, and she's in her 30s and she's like, yeah, it sucks because I thought this was going to be my person and I have to start all over again. And I was just like, I love this message. Like being in your 30s and trying to find the person of your dreams.
Yeah, like not settling because like I think it's a good message because I kind of I guess went through this, but like just because there's nothing wrong with somebody in a relationship, like necessarily by the rule book wrong, doesn't mean it like lights your heart on fire, right? And so when you think about like staying with somebody for 30 years, it's like, well, there's nothing wrong with them. I guess technically checks every box. It's like, well, just because he checks every box doesn't mean he like ignites you, you know, like you're in love with him.
Yeah, just because he's like the perfect guy on paper doesn't mean he's your perfect guy.
Totally. And like, it's okay to be like, listen, he's great for someone. Yeah. Somebody he's a perfect catch for, but like him and I in terms of compatibility and like you can't even explain it besides how you feel. It's just like a very real thing. And I think a lot of people end up settling for the guy that there is not anything wrong with, technically speaking, but maybe they're not, like the chemistry is not off the chart. So I think that's really cool that she did that. I love that message.
Yeah. And like I was talking to her and we were talking about how like you and I have discussed, like people don't really get better. Like the doubts aren't going to go away. They're probably just going to get worse or more will happen. And I like told her like my boyfriend of 5 years, like people were like mad at me for breaking up with him because he was like the best guy out there. And I was like, he is, but like I have doubts. I don't think he's going to make me happy for the rest of my life. And I'm going to follow that gut intuition. And I'm so grateful and happy that I did because then, yeah, it was 5 years, but 5 years later I found Pete, who literally I don't have one doubt about.
Yeah. And I think we're so quick to let people like weigh in, like society to weigh in of like, but you had it made with him or, but he was so nice. And it's like, but it's my life. Like I'm the one that has to do this every day and like feel this feeling. And you know, in your heart, the difference between like true, like passionate chemistry, love, you know, no doubt versus doubt. And so I think it's sometimes it's harder to go against like society standards of a gold star versus like your standards.
I agree. Yeah.
Do we want to do the listener question?
Yes. So the first part is the question and then the attachment is part of the listener question, but read that second.
Listener question. I've been divorced for almost 2 years now. I left because it was a relationship of virtual cheating, lies, and gaslighting. This led to my mental health deteriorating and me having to walk away. Fast forward to now, I get a DM from his current girlfriend reaching out, asking for clarification on why we broke up and what red flags she should be looking out for because something doesn't seem right. I don't know if I should respond or even inflict my bad experience on someone else's relationship. I need advice. I have attached a screenshot of her message. Okay. Hi, I hope you are well. I am coming to you anonymously. I am currently dating Michael. He did mention he was married before. However, his story of why the marriage ended does not sit right with me. I am coming to you as a girl's girl to find out the real truth as to why it ended a marriage. And I'm coming to you as a girl's girl to find out the real truth as to why he ended the marriage is a big thing and will determine if I should continue to want to talk to him. I really do not want to waste my time. I kind of went through his Facebook and found a post you were tagged in, and I'm sure that you are his ex-wife. If you are comfortable, may you please tell me the reason why you broke off the marriage? Is there something I need to be wary of? Anything I should be careful of? Any bad habits he had? I would really appreciate your reply. I know this is so weird, but I just have a gut feeling, which I'm trying to get rid of. I am so sorry to come at you with this, and I totally understand if you don't want to address anything. Many thanks. Nope.
Immediately no. Like
not your deal.
Also, if you're going through these lengths to find out if this person's right for you, they are not right for you. And this relationship now.
Well, and weird that you had to like kind of go through his Facebook to like find the ex-wife. Like, I don't know, but I think an ex-boyfriend is one thing. Maybe you don't know his name, but if you were married for 2 years, I don't know, maybe it's different, but I think it's odd to not know the name, like of the like they served a purpose, like to not know their name, to not be able to find them, for them to be like hidden. I think it would take Harrison 5 seconds to be like, I know Graham's name and I know he lives in Oklahoma City.
Pete knows the name of my exes and I know the name of all his exes, and I never was married to them.
Right. Like we know them. They served a purpose in the life. So like weird that he hid you, and then weird. It's just not your deal. Like, she's got to figure it out for her own. It's not, listen, wouldn't it be nice if everybody you dated, you got to go to the ex and be like, hi, red flags, please let me know what I'm walking into. That'd be a dream come true, but like, it's not the way the world works.
Also, like, I think if this girl was married to Michael and she reached out, like if I was the girl, like the first wife, I would have more sympathy if this was Michael's new wife, because I was like, crap, like you're stuck with him now legally, like you really got to know if you need to leave this marriage. But for a girlfriend who like he wasn't even mentioning my name to, I'd be like, this is kind of your mess. Like I probably would just delete the DM, because like also that's like bringing so much more like trauma back into her life and getting her involved. And like if this new girlfriend is like, Michael, your ex told me this, blah blah blah, then like she's involved. Like if I was this girl, I'd be like, delete, and I would move on. It's not your problem.
Delete. I totally agree. Like, protect your peace. You already moved on. Like, you don't owe anybody anything, especially not walking him through something. Just nope.
Yeah, that's like a big thing I've learned is like, just get involved in less drama with, like, if it's not involving you, don't get involved.
Totally. Like, Godspeed, girl. Like, the girl that reached out's got to figure it out for her own, just like you did.
Yeah. Like, even sometimes people will be like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me that? And I'm just like, because even just like sometimes talking about things, I'm like, it's just so much drama. Like, I just don't even be involved with it. If I don't speak it, it didn't happen.
Yeah. And like, who cares?
Who cares?
Yes. I totally agree. Yeah. I think that DM it's not really right to ask.
Yeah, I agree. So girl, delete it.
Yeah, and your experience is going to be different. Like, maybe you thought he was X, but this girl's totally different than you, and she'll perceive him as Y. But like, allow her that. Like, I think you had a good point. They're going to get in a heated fight one day. She's going to be like, well, I messaged your ex. It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Ricochet shot. If she even replies, she'll be painted as the bad guy. Or if she says something bad about him, right? Which she's going to have to because she left him. Then if these two run off in the moonlight together and they do make it, she's perceived as the bad guy. It's just like, let it go.
Just, yeah.
No good outcome.
What is your rec for the week?
My rec for the week is, did I say Bad Monkey? This is why I have to write it down.
No, you didn't.
Okay, that's what it is. It's Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn. It's I think I got a new episode out. I do. It's like not, I don't know what genre it is. It's like kind of comedy, kind of crime, but not really crime because it's Vince Vaughn. So it's like lighthearted. But it's great and it's new. So that's what I'm watching.
When did you start liking it? Because I tried the first episode and I couldn't get into it.
Oh, see, okay, I loved it on the first one.
Okay. Maybe I'll give it another shot.
Not for you.
Because Pete's cousin also said he loves it, and Pete and I were like, did we watch the right show? Why does everyone love it but us?
No, I could see that. Like, I almost hesitate to recommend it. But my celeb crush is Vince Vaughn. He's my number one. Like, I think his sense of humor is next level. Most of the time they say he's not even doing a script. He's like off script. So I just like to watch him. So it's really, take it with a grain of salt.
I love that. Okay. Maybe I'll give it another shot. So mine is Beach Read by Emily not Beach Read. It is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. And it's not like a newer book, it's one of her older ones, but they are making it into a movie. So I was like, oh, I want to read it before it comes out in a movie. And Alex, it might be top 2, top 3 favorite books I've ever read. It is. Julie likes it too, I believe.
Yeah, and I almost bought it at Target the other day.
I don't know if since just because you don't like fiction and that type of thing, I don't know if you'll like it. But if you are going to get into fiction, I almost started crying. So I feel like you being pregnant, you'd bawl your eyes out.
Oh. Okay, well, maybe I won't see it. Maybe I won't then. I don't know. I don't know. I'm in the oddest moment with books right now. I don't know what I'm craving to read, so we'll see.
Okay, it's about the guy's main character is actually Alex. It's about Alex and Poppy, their best friends, and it's like, if you haven't read the book, just like turn it off, turn the podcast off right now. But it's like a friend to lovers type of book. But why I like it is because Emily does such a good job, like describing, I think these are the books that I loved, like describing the human emotion that you can connect with. And I found out that she wrote the book kind of based off the love that Harry and Sally had for each other in the movie When Harry Met Sally, which is my favorite movie.
Oh.
Like friends to lovers. Like you don't realize you actually love this person the whole entire time. And it was so good. Like yesterday when we were celebrating Pete and I were celebrating our anniversary, I literally was like, I know it's our anniversary, but can I just please finish it? I had 50 pages left. I was like, I just want to read. And he's like, fine. And I'm like, I finished the book in like a week and a half, and I'm a slow reader. So like I know some people are like, a week and a half's long. No, or short. I was like, or long. And I'll be, wait.
Long.
So, yeah. But for me, like, that was like the quickest book I've ever read. So good.
Yeah, no, I believe that. A lot of people love her stuff. It's a good rec. Like, I think it's a good fiction. Like, people should read it if you like fiction. It seems like it's the go-to. It's almost, I don't know. I'm thinking about trying it. I don't know.
And then now I have like Book Lovers and Beach Read and all her other books on my list. So I'm excited to dive into like the Emily Henry world because I really like how she writes.
Well, that's the best part is finding an author that you like, and then they've written multiple books. It's like you're set for like a year. Like, it's the best.
I know. I was part of a book club back in Minnesota, but I wasn't really into reading. And now I'm just like so into reading. I'm like, I want a book club. I want to just like read every day, and I just want to talk about the books.
Well,
you're like, okay.
I don't know. I can't be your book club buddy. Sorry.
I know. We don't like the same books.
No, I know. I know. I'm really struggling with this book thing right now, so it's funny. But
well, then maybe give it a shot. I think Julie owns it, so she can like give it to you.
She does. She told me she would give it to me.
I mean, you're not going to have time in like 2 weeks to read, but if you want to read for the
I know, that's why I'm like, why would I even bother? Like, I don't think I'm in my book era, I guess, is the thing.
You have about 2 weeks, and then you're going to have to wait about 18 years to read again.
Exactly. And then I'm like, I don't even really have 2 weeks because like I still have a lot to do. So I'm just like, maybe I'm not in my book moment.
Yeah. You could be in your book moment in a couple decades or yeah.
When things calm down and I'm like putting the kids out the door to school. Gosh.
So funny. Okay, well, that's all I had.
Same, guys. That's all. Thanks for listening.
And next week, we'll be in person.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Wait, yeah, next week we'll be in person, yes.
Yeah, I'll be in Texas, and we'll record in Alex's studio.
I'm going to finish getting that set up right now.
Yay! Okay, guys, we love you so much. Bye.
Okay, that's it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening to Mean Girl Pod, powered by Just Media House. I'm Alex Bennett.
And I'm Jordyn Woodruff. So, AB, do what you do best.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. We are at Mean Girl Pod on all platforms. Stay connected with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat at Mean Girl Pod. Podcast and social artwork and post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Mean Girl Pod performed by Sergi Asbel. Mean Girl Pod, we're your besties in your ear. New episodes every Monday.